So yeah, I just got one of my stints from Murray Bridge race. So we just had the 24-hour part of the Australian International Pedal Prix series. So yeah, it's just we came out of pits there and just trying to get straight up to speed. Just quick burst of acceleration down the front straight, which is a bit of a downhill, so that assists the acceleration process. And yeah, it's just a matter of when you're starting these stints, you have to know how long you're going in for at the start, and then pacing yourself for that sort of effort sort of thing. And yeah, so it's just a matter of finding a pace that you're comfortable sitting at and everything. So yeah, first corner here that we went through, just trying to like find my groove with the track. It just takes 1 or 2 laps every time you're coming out for your first stint. It's just yeah, a process that you sort of have to go through each time you're getting into the track. So yeah, that corner there wasn't the greatest, but it didn't matter too much because you're still sort of fresh and you're getting up to speed. But as you get deeper into stint, you want to be maintaining as much momentum as you can to like get the quickest lap times you can, sort of thing, for your effort. And so yeah, just coming down the back straight now, just avoiding traffic, I guess, up the back straight, staying out to the right, sneaking through a couple gaps there. And then this corner was quite congested as well here, so we had to like slow down a little bit for this one, and then yeah, just through it nicely, trying not to get into any, like, you don't want to have too much contact because that's just speed that you're losing to other vehicles and everything, so it's just energy loss sort of thing. And so just made it comfortably through there, and just slow in sort of fast out situation so you can get better acceleration on the exit. Just under the overpass here and across the start finish line about there. And the sun was glaring in this stint like crazy. It was super hard to see down this straight. It was sort of just a bit of guesswork, but you had the spots where it was a bit with shadows and you could just make out what was ahead. So that's like the other thing as well. You want to be the whole stint just looking ahead for what's coming up, sort of thing, and making your decisions there. And I got caught out a bit there, just avoiding trucks, and then the camber on the track just sort of caught me out, and I slingshot all the way across, which was a bit far, but yeah, just made it through that corner nicely as well, and back up to acceleration. I always find as well, it's I accelerate so that I'm in quite a spinny gear when I'm accelerating, so easier gear, but you just get more, I find that I get a little bit more power into it. And then just once you're sort of getting to that speed that you're comfortable at, you find a gear that you're also comfortable at, and you sort of just cruise at that. Yeah. And then if you ever you run into other vehicles, or not run into them, but get caught up in a bit of traffic, just slot down 1 or 2 gears and give it a quick burst of acceleration again and straight back up to speed. I just find that works best for me, and yeah, sneak through that gap there. And I just save it a little bit. I don't go in for the dive or anything or overtake wide. It just means I get the better line, and then I can overtake after the corner with the acceleration on the exit, which is, I find that it just works better that way. You're not risking like rolling over or hitting that vehicle, because as I said, contact's just lost energy sort of thing. So yeah, just coming down that main straight again, under the overpass, into the glaring sun. Just looking ahead in this situation, so I found that gap pretty easy because I could see there, but as you sort of get into the more glary parts of the track, it's like I see now that where I'm going, and then sort of make my decision back there as what to do up ahead, sort of thing. So yeah, just cruising into the corner up here. you just want to stay wide as well, so made that quick overtake and then turned in pretty early. Yeah, and then exiting just there with the track, I decided to take the corner in a little slower, and then I just got that much better line, because if we would have gone in at full speed, then it would have meant I met those trikes just there that I met on the exit in the middle of the corner, which just would have slowed me down tons more. So I found that was a much better line, just cutting across the track here. And that's the other thing, like I saw that white track just ahead of those tracks, and so I knew that I would have enough time to sneak across, and that was just something that I did a bit further back, just looking ahead again. That's just like, it's the key thing really. It's like on these really congested tracks where there's a lot of traffic, you always want to be looking ahead and making your decisions for what you do ahead, like now sort of thing. So you're coming into the corner, I've already looked ahead, it's clear now, and I can just turn in and know that I'm going to make that corner with no trikes, and then just slungshot myself back out again. It was a really nice line there, I thought. And there was a couple of bumps here that sort of skipped your pedaling a little bit. I found it just lifted up the back wheel and you had like a double pedal every now and then. But yeah, then just sort of slotting it into top gear again and just spinning away, I guess, down the straight again. We just had some traffic there that I couldn't really make out from a distance and had to make a late decision there. I wasn't braking at all, I just sort of let off the, I guess, gas in this situation, just sort of backed off pedaling and instead of braking, because again, braking sort of, I guess, loses your speed, and yeah, so just trying to conserve as much, I guess, braking as you can so you can maintain that momentum that you have. So that was an alright line through there, just sort of backed it off again just so I didn't meet those trikes in the middle of the corner, and then straight back on the gas up to the hill, up the hill now, sorry. Yeah, and then I think I found it a lot easier to stay wide as well. There was a couple of potholes that you sort of want to avoid, and so I dodged left there instead of hitting right, and that obviously was the better line there because I gained about a second just diving up the inside and taking that inside line rather than hitting the pothole and going around the outside the long way. So yeah, but just, yeah, I found that just sitting on the outside was a much easier way to maneuver through the traffic. You just didn't have to deal with it a lot. And then there was yellow flags, so you know to be a bit more cautious, but I just sort of stuck it out wide and dove in and held my line, I guess, and there was nothing wrong there, so it was all good. I didn't actually realise until like my last, that was a bit of a dodgy one, but I didn't actually realise till my last 2 stints that I would save a bit of time just back there where those bumps were, just cutting in left and staying on that inside next to the barriers rather than hitting the bumps, because you'd hit the bumps and you'd have to sort of re-pedal that pedal, I guess. It's hard to explain, but I reckon it was just the quicker line. I think it would have gone a little bit faster if I just stayed left there, but I learnt that for later on. And then sometimes you get those trikes that just dive across the track and you're like, how am I meant to know what's going to go on there? But yeah, I was sort of lucky made it through there. Then it was a nice clear on this time and I was pretty excited for that, so just held out wide, dived in, hit the apex, and then accelerate out of the corner. And then yeah, just straight up, there's your gear and just hold it, I guess. And yeah, that's the other thing though, if you have like a clear track for a little bit like that there, you know that up ahead it's going to be quite congested because all the tracks bunch up, and so you can go, yay, I just got a clear track for a bit, but you know that up ahead you're going to have to like go through a wall sort of thing. it's always the case with these kind of races where the track's just full all the time. So yeah, I just haven't reached that pack yet, but it seems to have like split up a little bit. Find it again soon. These tracks here, I can get around them just before the corner. I think I missed like the optimal line by just a couple meters there. I was just a little bit too slow overtaking that track. I sort of misjudged it and had to dive in, but I felt like the track that I was in here, Velaero, it sat on rails the whole time. You could just sort of turn in late even and still hold like a really nice, comfortable speed, and just you still wouldn't go up on two. It was just really nice to be able to feel so confident through the corners like that and make those decisions late. Just dive up the inside there, back on the out. A bit shady there. So. Actually, I didn't really lose the data, but I didn't have the data to do an overlay for this, so no speed or anything, just trying it out with the voice and seeing what people think. But yeah, that was a bit of a shocker. I left that guy a bit too much room and probably compromised my line, and still just, that's sort of my problem then. I just have to accelerate a bit harder out of the bend to get to my comfortable speed and cadence sort of thing. And yeah, that's just something you can learn from like in later laps or in next stints or sort of next seasons and everything. Just you can go back to this track and remember the lines that you were taking last year and improve on them, or do the same ones if they were really good. And you sort of, it's good to have like this footage to analyze it a lot as well, and just see where you can go faster and where you can make up time and sort of things. And yeah, just how you can actually like learn how you handle and then go and train to, I don't know, be a better handler or take better lines through corners and everything. And that was a bit of a shocker as well. Just that was the congestion that I just ran into there and just hit it at the corner. Probably could have done that a little bit better, but just sort of backed off before the corner rather than enter it with it all. But yeah, I just wasn't really thinking at that time of that could have been the better option, I guess. So yeah, but anyway, just accelerating again and then finding that gear. And yeah, usually hit about top gear just after the start finish line and sort of just, I guess, ride that through to the left-hander up to the hill, and just found that was quite comfortable. And you didn't have to put out too much power. Like, it was sort of sitting on 200, 250 watts. If you hit some traffic, you just burst it up to like 300, push through it. Like now, probably 300. But yeah, and then just holding it and then sort of backing off now, just letting all the other trikes go through, and then straight onto the power. And that second half of the corner, you want to be straight onto the power, and it like just holding your line, but then straight onto the power, and that just maintaining your speed that way. And then you're also then accelerating to you start your accelerating process just on the second half of the corner, and that just works really good. Just making it up the back straight here. Sometimes got a bit black, I guess boring you could say. Just you didn't really have to do much, just sort of held just watts or cadence and speed. Yeah, and then other times it was just filled with trikes and you had to make your way through. Like up here I can go on that right hand side, but then this Pembroke bike sort of dives right a little bit, and you just got to adjust to that like on the spot sort of thing. And then that guy turned out wide, and I was like, man, yeah, that compromised the line like crazy. But I guess that was the good thing about this track though, was just that I could then just slow down a little bit and then just turned in late, but it just held its speed so well. It was so good, so you could just accelerate again and right back up to speed, and then got a bit squeezed here and just made it through there. That was the other thing, that I didn't really want to lose too much speed there too, so there was no braking there. It was just sort of off the pedals, and just sort of, I guess, could have been a bump or something, but lucky there was like more of a tap of the barrier. Don't want to like hit other people to make your line better, sort of thing. It's just you sort of got to make do with what you got in the situation. Just, yeah. So yeah, just turn in there, and you saw just wild one on the outside there. And there was a crash there actually, so I missed that. But wild one there, just got went to the outside, but then dove around the others, and then got stuck up behind the trike that was rolled over there. And just that sort of being able to work out how you're going to take the corner just before it really helps, because you can then take the best line. And in that situation, the wild one trike just sort of misjudged the corner, and if he would have gone on the inside, he would have been clean, and we would have had a quick line, and we would have gone through there together, and he still probably would have been ahead of me. But just the fact that he went on the outside and maybe went over cautious almost, just compromised compromised his line like crazy, and got me the better line. And then we came into some red and yellow flags, so everyone was going super slow, and I slowed down quite a bit and sort of just snuck through. And then it was green flags again after this, but I think this is where I'll end the video though, guys. So the stint was good after that anyway, just a lot like what I've been doing. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think of the idea. Happy to do some more. This was a bit of fun. Thanks, guys.